Hello everyone, please welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year 2025 first of all, and I hope you've had an amazing Christmas and New Year's. And I personally was very sick at the end of the year and I took quite a long break. It was almost 3 weeks and I'm feeling a lot better now. I think you can hear from my last video that my voice is a lot better now. I am not going to jinx it. I might just get sick after I finish the video, and I'm not going to talk much about my health. And I hope you can see me alright. I am not a very huge fan of lights, so I just turned on the Christmas lights that I put up, and I just turned on my book light here. That's the ambience for the first video of 2025, and I'm going to be discussing about the 10 books, and I have cheated a little bit here and there, and I have put in like a few books more by the same author or the same series, and I was just trying to give more options actually, so that you can read whatever you like. And without any further ado, let's get on with the video. And I didn't say what you can see it from the title that these are the books that make me who I am today in the beginning of 2025. And I would love to make video on the total 82 of books that I have read. If you guys want that, I would probably do a review video of the 82 books, but it would be quite a long video, so I don't know when I'm going to be able to make that. But if people flood my comment section with a bunch of comments, then I will probably make it. But as it is a quite small channel and I don't know if people want those kinds of videos that I want to make, but it is also a resolution of mine that I want to make the kinds of videos that I want to make. Can you see the heart in the back? Okay, enough of that. So this video is going to be all about my favorite books of 2024, and I have reread quite a lot of books from my childhood as I was getting back into reading. For a couple of years I've been trying to get back into reading, and in the year 2024 I read 82 books, and I loved reading so much in 2024. That's what I was trying to do, read a lot, and that's what I achieved. And I am going to be picking 10 of the books that I read which were my absolute favorite, and these are in no particular order. I can't pick them because some have sentimental values from my childhood and my teenage years. So without any further ado, this is already going to be a long video. I don't want to make the intro 10 minutes long. I will probably cut it down, but let's get into it. The first book that I'm going to be talking about is the Bhagavad Gita, and I started reading this last year and I have not finished it. As you can see, I've just started it, but I'm going to include it here. Probably because this is a very influential book, and if you have not read the Bhagavad Gita, it is the Bhagavad Gita is the religious book of Hindus, well, one of the religious books. In other religions, there are only one religious book, and for Hinduism, there are multiple, and I really appreciate that because there are multiple stories and multiple scenarios and multiple things that you learn from each and every book, and I want to read every single one of them. Personally, we have grown up listening to stories from our grandparents and from our parents here and there, but reading the whole thing, this is the shortest of them all, and Mahabharata is the hugest of them all, and I want to read all of it. I used to love watching the show The Mahabharata, which aired when I was a teenager, and I really loved every single second of it. It just has a great production team, and if you want to watch it, you can watch it. The Mahabharata show from 2016, around that time. It was amazing. It is aired in Hindi, but I think you can find it dubbed in any other language you like. It will probably be on Hotstar, so if you want to watch it, you can watch it. But for the Bhagavad Gita, it's the story starts with before a day of the war, which is in the Mahabharata, and Lord Krishna is giving advice on life and on the war and human emotions and what it is like for Arjuna to go to the war. Being a person, he doesn't want to fight his own family, but the situations are such that he must, and that's why he's asking advice on from Lord Krishna, and that's why he's giving advice on, and it's really wonderful. And there's much to it. It preaches a lot on life and death and what is the purpose of our lives and such. So highly recommend. I'm going to be talking about the hugest book that I read this year. I read it at the end of the year with the Game of Thrones book club, which Emma from Emmy and Caroline from Caroline Mary Reads moderates on Fable. It is a wonderful book club that you can join, and I joined at the end of the year, and I read Little Women only because I have always wanted to read Little Women, and I got it from my elder brother, and I was like, I've got this beautiful copy of it from my Bhai gift, and I'm going to read it this year. And I did read this year, but it was not included in the 82 books. This is the 83rd book. But I finished it on 1st January. That's why this is the first book that I completed this year, but most of it I read in 2024, so I'm including it in this video. And it's none other than The Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. This is so good. I'm just going to read some of my favorite quotes from it. This is about, if you don't already know, this is about 4 sisters, and 4 March sisters, and how their lives are. I really liked the first part of the book. This book is originally published in 2 different parts. this is originally two different books, but now we read Little Women as a combined book one. So it has like part one and part two. I enjoyed part one a lot more than part two, but it is incredible enough. This has so many relatable quotes in it, and the bookmark that I used in this book, I have written in the back of it, I am a combination of Joe and Beth. Right now probably 50% Beth and 50% Joe. It changes. That's what I've written here. Right now when I wrote it, it was 28th of December and I was 50% Joe and 50% Beth. Right now I'm probably 80% Joe and 20% Beth. I told you it changes. I will read you some of my favorite lines from it. I will tell you the first one that I found because it's the anger, and I somehow related to it from my younger self when I was younger. So, my dear, don't let the sun go down upon your anger. Forgive each other, help each other, and begin again tomorrow. I will read you what's in the back. Life and love are very precious when both are in full bloom. I have so many wonderful quotes that I love from Little Women that I will enter when I'm editing this video because I can't seem to find them right now. It's okay, it's fine. I love this book and this cover so much that I'm going to put this up on my study table just like this for sure that I've read it. It's wonderful, it's wonderful. Let's talk about the books that influenced my childhood and my teenage years and now my adulthood. Is the Bookish series. It's, you hear the name Bookish and it hits you with a surge of nostalgia, and I just love every single moment of it, every single moment of reading it. You can find, I think, translations in English. It is in Bengali, and when it is translated in English, you might lose some essence of the culture of Bengali and the culture of West Bengal in that period of time in Kolkata. You might lose some of it, but I still highly recommend that you pick any book at all. You can start with the first book in the series, which I love very much. It is very near and dear to me. I have listened to it, read it, watched adaptations of it a million times. And you can start with the first one, but I will recommend, if you want to read one, you can read Shuttandeshi. And Shuttandeshi is one of my most favorite ones. And you can read Artham Anartham, where Bumkesh first meets his wife Shuttabadi, which is a spoiler, but it's okay. You can read it and it's completely fine. And I can't remember the name of the first story. What is the name of the first story? Let me go on Goodreads and give you the name of the first story because it's going to hit me. So, how could I forget the name of the first story? Shuttandeshi is the first one. How could I forget that? I already recommended you Shuttandeshi. Shuttandeshi is the first one in the series, and where Bhumkesh meets Ajit for the first time and they become best of friends for the rest of the series. And Arthamanartham, where Bhumkesh meets Shuttabadi for the very first time. You can read the others as well, and the last one is unfinished, unfortunately, because Shardindu Bandyopadhyay died before finishing it. But there is a show in which they kind of finished it in their own way, but they thought was an ending. I watched it, but I don't think that was. If I had to guess where the story was going, I wouldn't say that that's where it was going. But alright, I won't nitpick on it very much. And let's just go into another nostalgia series. It is Bomkash is my all-time favorite series in books, and people say it about Harry Potter, and I did not grow up reading the books of Harry Potter. I did not, so I cannot relate to that. Sorry, but Bomkash is my favorite series of all time. And if you want to know what is my second favorite series, you have to go no further than right now, which is the Fiddler's series by Satyajit Ray. It is equally impressive series, and it is a great debate. Who is the better detective? Oh, I didn't tell you that it was a detective series. Yes, it is. Sherlock Holmes, I have read some of Sherlock Holmes, but both of these are detective series, and Bomkash is set a lot in the time of independence, so around 1940s, 1930s, and Feluda is set after quite a long while after independence, so around, I think, 70s, I want to say. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And I adore Satyajit Ray's work. I admire his works very much, more so his films than books. But anyways, for this series, the book that I'm going to be recommending is The Royal Bengal Mystery. I think you can find the English translation of it. It is so good. And one thing that you need to know about Satyajit Ray is that he loves Darjeeling. So his first book is going to be set at Darjeeling. It was set in Darjeeling. You can read that in that Feluda is an amateur detective. So anyways, but Bomkash has given his own name, Shuttanishi, which means that searcher of truth seeker. I don't know, it sounds a lot better in Bengali. So anyways, so those two series give me the hit of nostalgia that hits me, and I read all of the Bomkash books in 2024, and I loved every second of it. I watched the series with my mother, and I loved that as well. So number 3, those are also rereads, and this is also reread for me, and it is Porinita by Sharat Chandra Chattopadhyay. I have read it for the first time when I was probably a little too young to read it. It's just I got it in my birthday gift when I was probably 11, and I read it probably when I was 13, 14, and I was really too young to read it and appreciate it. Now I read it this year for the very first time, so almost a decade later. I was probably 12 when I read it for the first time. So when I read it last year, it just felt quite better because I understood it completely. So if you want to read Bengali literature, I'm giving you recommendations left and right in this video, and I hope you enjoy it. And Another book that I read this year that took the internet by the storm is White Nights by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I will probably never pronounce his name correctly, but this is a tragic love story between two people who meet on a white night, and the nights that follows the first white night, and it is told from the guy's perspective, and I liked it. But it will probably be ranked lower in my favorite videos. I already mentioned that these are in no particular order, but I have to say that this is in the lower side. What I will recommend, which I also read, is Debarati by Chandra Chattopadhyay, because which gives like this sort of feeling, but in my opinion, it is way better than White Nights. If you want to read about heartbroken characters, read that instead, and you will know the magic of Chandra Chattopadhyay and Bengali literature, and hopefully you will read more from Bengali literature. Hopefully. And I think I should talk about the children's book next, which made it onto the top 10 list, which is The Little Prince. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name by this author, by this person, okay? I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but this is, just read it, and this is quite short, so I'm not going to give any spoilers for it, and just read it. This is a short book. This is a kid's book and children's book, and you can read it to your child, and you can read it yourself and still learn quite fascinating things, and I enjoyed it very, very much. The rest of the books that I read this year, I don't own a physical copy of. This is a bit on the darker side, which is called The Corner. I don't remember the name of the author. I am extremely sorry, but it is a very, very dark book, and it has loads and loads of trigger warnings. So before you read it, please read all of the trigger warnings that are in that book. And if I say anything, I will probably spoil it, but if you want to really know about it, it's about a person who kills another person's wife, and then the person who is now a widow, whose wife just died, wants to hunt down the killer of his wife and wants to kill him probably, and things do not go as he planned, as the widow person planned. And I will not give any spoilers other than that. Just read from it what you will, and it's just the person who killed his wife was ordered to do so. No, he did not have any personal grudges against his wife. It's just about the mafia world or something. I don't know. This is probably the most bizarre book on this list, so if you want to read a bizarre, dark book which has loads of triggering things, and you can read that. So let's put that aside and let's go to another book which also has a cast of characters, and a huge cast of characters, and a huge trigger warnings. I will not mention trigger warnings, you can find it on the internet. It's the Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. It has 5 books in the series, and I don't own any of it because they are too expensive. I read it online, and you can read it online too if you want, and it is so good. If you have not read the books, it is a novel, and it has, I think, a manga form as well, and it has a show. It is called The Untamed. So if you have not read the book, I think you have probably heard about the show The Untamed, which stars Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan from China. So they are very famous there, and today is the Weibo night. It's the 11th of January when I am filming this video, and today is the Weibo night when they are supposed to go to take awards. So I don't know, probably tomorrow when I post this video I will see them in the award show. Not personally on my phone, but it's a great show. It's a great cast of characters, great acting. If you don't have time to read 5 books, watch the show, but it also has 50 episodes, so you're not really saving any time. I watched this show last year, and I read the books last year. So it was incredible. No matter how many times I say incredible, it's less for both the show and the books. So anyways, last but not least, this is my most favorite show that I watched in 2024. It released in 2024 as well, the show, not the book. I loved it. I loved it so much, but I'm recommending the books. So it is called Momo in the Chinese or Taiwanese language, and if you translate it in English, it loosely translates to a certain someone. So it is incredible. I'm just saying it's incredible. I will give you a synopsis for this one. I didn't give you a synopsis for Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation as well, so I should probably do that. Where do I start? It's about Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji. There are 5 clans in the series, I think so. Yes, there are 5 clans, and Lan Wangji is from Lan clan, and Wei Wuxian is from Jiang clan, and it's about another 3 clans as well, which has loads of other main characters, but the main thing is Wei Wuxian has reincarnated in the body of Mo Xuanyu after he has been summoned upon by a certain someone by a curse. He has already died, and someone called him back from death. This Mo Xuanyu, in this Mo Xuanyu person's body, and and he's very confused when he's like, I have already had a very difficult life, and you guys are not even leaving me alone in death. And he has come back, and he's like, what is going on, and what does this person want? So he wants revenge, and Vibhushan had a very, very difficult life, and we will go from like present time to past, and he will think about what happened, and then they will come back to normal to present timeline, and he'll talk about what is happening right now. So that's how the story is written, and it is wonderful. And you'll get to know about his brother, who is from Jiang clan, and his sister, who is also from Jiang clan, and obviously Lan Wangchi, who is his best friend. And you learn more about them in the future books, and I will not give any spoilers. You can read it for yourself. And the last but not the least, a certain someone, and it is a Taiwanese or Chinese book, which is in the name of Momo, which if you translate it in English, it will be a certain someone. So I enjoyed the show, which is based upon this book. It is only based upon the first half of the book, and people are like, it is so sad, the ending is so sad. I'm like, read the book, then you'll know the book is sadder and devastating, and it has a good ending, it has a great ending, but the book is not happy at all, and it is one of the saddest books I have ever read in my life. It is about these two young boys who have found themselves forced to live together under their parents' roof, of course. So what are their names? Xinguang and Jiang Tian. They have found themselves being forced to live together in the same house and across the hall from one another, because after the death of Xinguang's mother, after like quite a few years after his mother's death, Xinguang's father has decided to marry someone else. They have not gotten engaged yet, but they have decided to live together, and that person has a son, and his name is Jiangtian. So the lady and his son Jiangtian moves in with Xinguang and his father, and what happens? They are going to the same school in the same city, and Jiangtian lived all his life here, more or less, but around there, and Xinguang has lived his childhood years with his parents in this small town in Taiwan, but he moved away with his father when his mother died, but they have come back, and now they're going to the same school. And I will not give spoilers once again. What I can say is that this book is going to make you want to read and study so well. These two young characters are so good in their studies, and there's a very good competition among the students in the school. And when I was reading it, I was like, studying is so much fun when there are lots of competitions and things like that. So it will motivate you to study quite a lot in the first half of the book, and then things get complicated in the later half of the book when they grow up, and things started becoming quite a lot hefty, and Jiangtian's father comes into picture, and he learns a lot about his childhood with Jiangtian's father, and how Sheng Wang is now accepting this new person as a part of their family, as his almost like a replacement for his mother. And this person also looks quite a bit like his mother, and he just is so stunned that his father has gotten quite used to like this person, and this person also looks so much like his mother that he cannot even fathom it. So I don't really want to say anything else about this. It's just one of my favorite shows, one of my favorite books. Like all of these books have movie or show adaptations of it, and like all of them does, and they're wonderful. Little Women also have like 4 to 5 movie adaptations of it. You can watch any of it. I think people are going to like it, but the 2019 version has an amazing twist at the end, which we will like as modern feminists in 2025. So watch that one. It is directed by Greta Gerwig, and of course we're going to love her. So these are all of the books, and I've been chatting for so long, and hopefully I will see you very soon in the next video. Till then, stay happy, stay motivated, and goodbye.